Jai Shri Ram, welcome all of you all for our weekly Wednesday Ramayana class. So we are reading from the Valmiki Ramayan, shloka by shloka, and try to understand the hidden secrets, the hidden jewels inside the Ramayana. So we have already completed 13th Sarga, 14th Sarga, we are in the 27th or 28th verse. So request Damini Mataji to read for verse number 27 to have a proper recap.
The pillars were nicely covered with beautiful cloth and worshipped with fragrant flowers. The pillars were as radiant as the shining Saptarishis, 7 sages in heaven.
So this is a description of the Yagyashala which was made for the Ashwamedha Yagya, followed by which there is going to be Putra Kameshti Yagya. So for this, the Yagyashala has been made ready, and now Valmiki ji is describing how beautifully the Yagyashala is made with the details of the various sizes of the wood used and everything in detail. Please read.
The bricks that were prepared to be used on the fire altar were well designed with perfect measurements as per the rules. Brahmanas, who were experts in sacrificial craftsmanship, designed that fire altar with those bricks. The expert Brahmanas thus arranged the sacrificial fire altar for King Dashratha, the lion among the kings. They arranged it in the shape of a golden winged eagle Garuda, 3 times the normal size. It consisted of 18 fireplaces. As the sacrificial
this fireplace is basically not just one Yagyashala. Simultaneously, 18 Yagyas will happen at one place. So it's a big arena which has been taken. It is shaped like an eagle, spread eagle. So that in total, 18 Yagyashalas are made, and simultaneously so many mantras are chanted and so many Yagyas are offered. Please continue.
At the sacrificial altar, animals were ready to be offered to the respective devatas. As prescribed in the Shastras, venomous animals like snakes, scorpions, birds, and so on were arranged for the sacrifice. Sacrificial animals like horses and aquatic like fishes were also ready. The sages did all this as mentioned in the scriptures. Around 300 animals were tied to the sacrificial altar. Along with them, even the jewel, like sacrificial horse of King Dashratha, was tied.
So one should understand that all these were kept ready to be offered in the sacrificial fire. And we are going to further understand if are they butchers, are they criminals, and a sacrifice where you are offering animals into the fire. So these are all as per the Shastra. Shastra gives a very important science. That is why in today's world, in today's Kali Yuga, these sacrifices are not authorized. These sacrifices were done with a different purpose, with a different understanding. The animals used in the sacrifice were actually, they were tested whether these animals are really, whether the sacrifice is really done properly. So if the animal was killed, immediately it would take a heavenly body and take and go up to the heaven. Or a new young one would be ready. The new animal, young one will be ready. This is to confirm that the yagya has been executed perfectly well without any problem. So these are the way one has to understand why the animals were used for various sacrifices. Please continue.
Sacrificial animals, sorry. Around 300 animals were tied to the sacrificial altar. Along with them, even the jewel-like sacrificial horse of King Dashratha was tied. Then at the sacrificial altar, Queen Kaushalya, with great care and delight, did the circumambulation of the horse. With 3 knives, she symbolically killed the horse.
Please read the explanation.
Yeah. Queen Kaushalya was not a butcher. It is hence said that she symbolically killed the horse. As per the scriptural injunction, she was supposed to perform this ritual of piercing the horse with 3 golden knives. In today's date, we do not have such qualified brahmanas, nor do we have the source of all the ingredients required for the sacrifice. Hence, it has already been mentioned in the scriptures that in Kali Yuga, no such sacrifices should be performed.
So what do we understand from this? She was not a butcher. She's not sitting there to kill horses. It was symbolically she had pierced the knife. The horse was already killed. But symbolically, that with the using the golden knife, she has done. Secondly, repeatedly, time and again, Shastra is saying, please don't think that these type of yagyas can ever be done in today's world in Kali Yuga. It's impossible. It will only lead to karmic reactions. It will only lead to bad karmic reactions. The reason is very clear. People in those days were much, much advanced as far as the scriptural knowledge as well as in the proficiency in the Vedas. They were very, very smart in Vedas. So when they used to do this Vedic chanting and all, they were perfect, and people were pure at heart. Mind you, the purest yuga is Satyuga. Then comes Treta Yuga, where contamination is there, but very less. Then when the contamination increases a little more, we come to Dwapar Yuga. But finally, it is Kali Yuga, where the contamination is maximum in the mind. And in Kali Yuga, people can't focus on one thing. The focus of life only becomes on merrymaking. There is no Satya, there is no Tyaga, there is no Saucha, no cleanliness, nothing is maintained. Now, people in certain places where the temperature is very cold, they don't take bath for months together or weeks together. This is very bad. Against the Shastric rules. Okay, the weather conditions are harsh, no doubt about it. But you see our Rishi Munis, they used to never even use hot water, they used to use cold water. So we have to understand that, yes, definitely, they were powerful means of doing this yajna, but not meant for today's date. Please read.
Queen Kaushalya spent one night with a dead horse with a peaceful mind as she wanted to fulfill her desire of having a son through righteous means. The word Patatrina has many meanings. It also means bird or Garuda. So Acharyas interpreted it as the night flew away fast like a bird. It also means she spent the night with a dead horse as a virtue, as a vulture sits beside a dead body.
So she was like a vulture. There are two ways of interpreting it. Some people say, no, like a bird, the night went off very fast. Second is, yes, like a vulture, she was sitting and protecting the dead horse.
The priest Hota, Adhvari, and Udgata held the hands of Mahisya, Parivritya, and Vavata respectively. Explanation. Acharyas explain this verse in various ways. During the sacrifice, there is a ritual where the king does a ceremonial charity of his wives, namely Mahisya, Parivritya, and Vavata, to the three priests Hota, Adhvari, and Udgata. The Mahisya queen is the prime queen. The one who is neglected by the king is the Parivritya queen. The Vavata is the king's favorite queen. However, in the commentary of Sri Govindraj, the words Hastena Samayo Jayan means the priest holding hands of these wives was to bring them in contact with that dead horse.
So just they were holding the hands, like many times, your hand shakes. Gone. Then someone else holds your hand and places it over there. Same way, these sages have done this ceremonial job. Please continue.
Those priests who were wealthy in knowledge and had controlled senses took out the fat from that dead horse. They put it in the sacrificial fire to cook it as per the Shastra. Then King Dashrata was asked to inhale the smell of the smoke of that cooked fat. It was done as per the time and the rules of the Shastras by which he was thus cleansed of his sins. It is also mentioned in the Mahabharata that King Yudhishthira, along with his brothers, inhaled the smoke of the cooked horse fat when he performed the horse sacrifice.
So this is a part of the ritual. The fat from the horse, from the killed horse, is removed, and that fat is put in the fire, and that smell has to be inhaled. It's a part of the ritual. So that was done as per the Shastra. Please continue.
The 16 Brahmanas of the sacrifice then offered all parts of the horse body into the fire with mantras according to the scriptural procedure. Generally, in other sacrifices, a branch of Plaksha tree is used, but in a horse sacrifice, Vaitasa plant is used.
See, when they are saying 16 Brahmanas did offer the parts of the body with various mantras, means every part of the body which was offered had a specific mantra, not a common mantra. When they're offering the head, they're offering the limbs, they're offering the body. Every part of the body had a specific mantra, and as per that specific mantra, the oblations were offered in the sacrificial fire. Please continue.
The horse sacrifice was conducted in 3 days as per Kalpa Sutra. On the first day, Chatustoma was performed. On the second day, Uktyam was conducted, and on the last day, Atiratram was conducted. Along with this, many other sacrifices were performed as mentioned in the Shastras. Then, Jyotistoma, Ayustoma, and Atiratrav sacrifices were performed. Along with that, the great sacrifice of Abhijit, Vishwajit, and Aptoyama were also performed. King Dashratha, the enhancer of his dynasty, gave the eastern side to the Hota priest. The Adhvaryu priest was given the western side, and the Brahma priest got the southern side. The Udgatre priest got the northern side. These were the charities prescribed in that great Ashwamedha sacrifice by Brahma from earlier times.
So, this is a very funny ritual, or rather, a very true ritual, which takes place during the Ashwamedha Yagya. In those days, someone does an Ashwamedha Yagya. The king who performs Ashwamedha Yagya is supposed to hand over the entire kingdom to the Brahmanas. So there are 4 categories, as mentioned in the sloka. There are 4 categories of Brahmanas, and for each category of the Brahmana, the we say the direction of land. Someone was given the eastern side, western side, northern side, southern side. Each side was given to each and every Brahmana, and it's not a joke. It is said from ancient days. These Brahmanas were given. Similar yagya was done by Parshuram. He has also done a Parshuram. And he also had to give the land in offering. That is why he could not stay in this earth. Whenever he used to come, he used to come during the daytime, but he cannot spend the night on the earth. So the point is, but these Brahmanas usually don't take this piece of land. They accept it as a token of respect and love, but they never take it. I will read that further, please.
King Dashratha, the enhancer of the family, completed that sacrifice as per the scriptures. After completion, he gave away the entire earth in charity to the priests. The king born in the Ikshvaku dynasty was delighted after the sacrifice and charity. As the king was cleansed of his sins, all the priests then said to the king, those priests said, you alone deserve to rule the entire earth. This earth is of no use to us. We are not capable of maintaining this earth.
They know, the Brahmanas knew it is the job of a Kshatriya to maintain the land. It is not our job. We cannot protect the land, nor can we collect the revenue and all that. They were not crazy, greedy or crazy. They were happy because their job was to read the Shastra and read the Vedas and read it to others. That is why they clearly said, no, we do not need any of your land. Please continue.
The priest continued, we were always absorbed in reading the scriptures. O maintainer of the earth, you give us something instead of the earth, which will be of some value to us. O best among men, these vast pieces of land are of no use to us. Give us precious gems and stones, gold or cow or anything else. Thus spoken by the Brahmanas who were well versed in the Vedas, the king gave them 10,000, that is 10 lakhs cows. The king also gave 100 crore gold coins and 4 times more silver.
So what was the use of this when they could have taken the land? They said, no, this land is of no use because land means you have to take care of it, you have to protect it. If you are busy doing this, when will they read the Shastra and when will they read the Vedas? That is why they have taken what is required to run their house. Mainly in those days, wealth as good as gold was cows. They all took cows. 10 lakh cows were given to them. Plus gold and silver was given. So that was a big remuneration for these sages. But they were happy with this. They didn't want to become rulers of the land. Continue.
All the priests collectively gave the wealth they received to sage Rishyasringa and the intelligent Vashishta Muni. Then, as per the rules, the wealth was divided among those Brahmanas. The Brahmanas, with a happy mindset, we are very much delighted. Then to the other Brahmanas who had arrived there to see the sacrifice, King Dashratha with full faith gave 1 million gold coins.
Every Brahmana was given donation over there. Not just the priest who took participation in the yajna. These priests were already given. But equally or more than that, who are given? Those who had even come to visit, those Brahmanas who had come to visit. So what do we learn from this? Brahmanas have to be given donations, or no, charity has to be done to Brahmanas at any cost. Even if they are not participated in any yajna, performing any yajna or any puja in your house, whenever you get chance, please give it to Brahmanas. Very important. Yes, continue.
Dashratha, the descendant of Raghu, gave his excellent golden bracelet to a very poor Brahmana who was asking for the same.
Now here there is a very beautiful shloka. There is a beautiful word which says, Yachanaya Dadau Raghav Nandana. Why is Dashratha referred to as Raghunandana, son of Raghu, descendant of Raghu? उसको पर एक पूरा एक बड़ा story है. Let's read that and understand it.
When King Dashratha donated the bracelet that he was wearing, sage Valmiki addressed him as Raghavanandana, descendant of Raghu dynasty. It is said that it was to emphasize the glories of King Raghu, who was a great donor. It was in King Raghu's name that the entire dynasty was famous as Raghunandana. Saint Kalidas, in his poem Raghavamsham, gives a detailed description of King Raghu, who, on the instruction of his guru Vashishta, performs the Vishwajit Yajna. While performing this sacrifice, he gave away all his wealth as dana, charity, without a second thought, so much so that he became financially broke. It is said that he even donated his palace and was living in a small hut with his family. It was a condition of that sacrifice to give anything that was demanded by the Brahmanas under any circumstance. At that time, sage Kautsa completed his Gurukul education under his spiritual teacher Guru, sage Vartantu. As Guru Dakshina, fees given to the Guru on completion of education, sage Varantu asked his disciple huge amount of 14 million gold coins. He sent his disciple sage Kautsa to King Raghu to ask for that amount as charity. Sage Kautsa asked King Raghu, who was now financially broken, for the youth charity. King Raghu gave his word of promise and asked him to come after 3 days. King Raghu asked for 14 million gold coins from Kubera, the treasurer of the Devatas. The king decided to wait for a day, and if his request was not fulfilled, then he would wage a war against Kubera. Knowing that King Raghu was asking for the wealth only for charity, Kubera willingly showered a rain of gold coins on his kingdom. King Raghu, keeping up his promise, gave in charity all the gold coins to sage Kautsa. King Raghu, though himself was in a pauper-like state, did not ask anything for himself from Kubera, but for the sake of fulfilling his promise of charity, he was ready to wage a war against him. Hence, the entire dynasty of King Raghu became famous with this saying, Raghukula Reet Sada Chali Aaye, Pran Jaye Par Vachana Na Jaye.
Very, very important story to understand, and rather not just the story. It's a true incident which happened in the Raghuvansham. It has never happened with anyone else earlier. So, Acharyas interpret this in a very various way. I'll just share with you one of the style in which it was explained. It is said that once when, by the way, most of you all were there with me in Ayodhya Yatra. If you remember, there was a place called Swarna Khanit Kunda. He had gone when the Autowalas were not knowing this
Yes, Rohit.
place.
Yes,
You
Rohit.
remember, it was a very, we had to do some research, R&D, and go to that place. But that is the place where this entire incident of King Raghu happened. King Raghu was staying in a hut after doing this Viswajit Yagya. Again, there also donations have to be given, big, huge donations. And this King Raghu also gave great donations. And then he was staying in a hut. That is the time when the sage sent a student in Garudaksha, get me 14 million gold coins. कहाँ से लाएगा 14 million? He thought, okay, the king will give me. So he came actually because the donation was going on. But by the time he could reach, the king had already finished the yagya and sent back all the people over there. So he was wondering how to ask. The king asked, King Raghu asked him, what do you want? Why have you come? No, my master has sent me here to ask for some 14 million gold coins. But seeing your pathetic condition, you're living in a house, in a hut, not in your palace, and there are only a couple of earthen pots in your house. You don't have any wealth left. Neither your queens are wearing any rich golden ornaments. How are you going to give me 14 million, 14,000 points? So rather, I would go back. The king said, wait, wait, wait. I have given a promise that I will give whatever the Brahmanas ask. Don't worry. If I don't have, don't worry. Give me 3 days time. I'll arrange it for you. He was sitting there quietly for 3 days. So immediately, King Raghu went and prayed to Kubera. Kubera is the financer, treasurer of the Devaloka. He has got a lot of wealth. Treasurer means a lot of wealth. He said, please give me 14,000 gold coins. I need to give it to someone. And Kubera was like silent. He didn't say anything. That time, he was wondering why Kubera is not giving, though he had time. He said, let us wait for a day. He may not give me immediately, but we'll wait for a day. If he still doesn't give, then in those days, kings used to wage wars on, could go travel to Devloka, so heavenly planets, not a problem. They said, now I'll take my army and wage a war against Kubera and take this 14,000 million gold coins. See how strong or how powerful they were, adherent to their words and promises given. Immediately, Kubera also knew his intent. He's a very nice person. And just for the fun of it, Kubera showered a few coins more than 14,000. Okay. So he showered a few thousand coins more. And the way those coins fell from heaven was so huge that, just imagine, घर में अगर कुछ 2-4 coins गिर जाते हैं तो ये घर में टांग टुंग आवाज आती है. Just imagine 14 million coins falling from heaven. How far it is falling. It made a small kund. That is why Swarna Khandit. Khandit means dug dug by gold, means gold coins. So this whole kund. Immediately, all the devatas were very happy that he was given. But Raghu collected all the coins. This happened somewhere in the night, early morning. So Raghu went and collected all the coins. He found them to be more than 14,000 coins. So Acharyas say next day morning, this sage came to collect, this disciple rather. He came to collect. Raghu said, take these coins. He said, I don't need so many coins. My guru has told me 14,000 coins, give me 14,000 coins. He said, see, I asked for 14,000 coins, but more coins have fallen down. No, I have not asked for myself. I asked for you, but since more coins have come, you take. He said, no, I will not take. I will take only 14,000. Now, why this situation is very funny. Just imagine in Kali Yuga such a situation comes. Would anyone give excess? Or rather, would anyone accept or not accept excess? Suppose someone comes from some institution asking for money. You say, no, no, I will not give you this much, I'll give you more. No, 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 I want only this much. Will he say, acha hai, lao, or lao. And person who is ready to give, he will say, if in today's date, I have promised you only 14,000, I'll give 14,000. Rest to mera hai. It is mine. I need to possess it. So this is the temperament of King Raghu. I have asked for charity, I'll do it for charity. But to fulfill the charity, if required, I will go and take the sword and go to fight. This is the greatness of King Raghu. That is why the whole dynasty got the name Raghukul, Raghu Kakul. And that is why the famous saying is there, na Raghukul read Sada Chariyai, Prana Jaya Par Channa Jaya. In war, he could have lost his life also. But he was ready for the loss of his life. But at that cause also he said, I will at any way will fulfill his vow. Vow given to the Brāhmaṇa. So this is a quality of the Vamsha in which Ramchandraji has taken birth. Please understand how virtuous people were, how truthful people were. Today also we speak the truth, but how weak our truth is, how malleable and how ductile our truth is. It changes with time, situations, everything it changes. Whereas in those days, words meant a lot. Just because King Dashrath had given a word to Kaikai, Ramchandra said, no, I will fulfill my father's vows. He has given a boon to you, I will fulfill it. It's my duty. And today's date, anyone happy if such a thing would happen, what would he say? Papa, aapne promise kiya, you fulfill. I have not promised. It's not my concern. It's not my forte. It's your outlook. It's not my outlook. But that's not the case in those days. Everyone was ready to sacrifice for each other. Today, everyone wants others to sacrifice for them. This is the difference in Kali Yuga and earlier Yugas. Bharat was ready to sacrifice the kingdom for the sake of Rama. He says, the Ayodhya Kandi clearly says, you come and rule the kingdom. He tells Rama, you come and rule the kingdom. I will go to the forest and stay for the number of years which you have promised, and I will come back. So our father's word will be fulfilled. So many options he gives. There is another situation where it is said, as per the Shastra, if there is an catastrophic time or a devastating time, 14 days is equal to 14 years. So he says, Bharata comes and tells Rama, you have spent 14 years. Because you have spent 14 days in such bad situation is equal to 14 years. Now come back. A similar situation arose in the Mahabharata also, when they were given 12 plus 1 years to spend in Vanavas and 1 year Agyatas. So you can see that in Mahabharata, when the 13th day was over, 14th day, Arjuna, Nakul, Sahadev, Bhim, everyone is ready with wearing their kingly dresses, ready to go back to the kingdom. And Vidur also comes. He says, yes, this is a part of our, rules. And it's as per the rules. So you please come. I come to take you all. That time Yudhishthira Maharaj says, no, I will not come. The reason why he says I will not come, he says, for me 13 years means it should be 12 plus 1. That is 12 years of Vanvas, 1 year of Agyatavas. I don't want to go. You all want to go, you go. I will not. So the entire Pandavas stay back. This was only to highlight this Shastric principle. Yes, in case of an emergency, in case of an untoward situation, if at all it arises, one can equate the number of years to the number of days. But Ramchandra said, no, for me 14 is 14 years. I'll fulfill 14 years and I'll come back to you. And that Bharata also puts a condition. Okay, on the end of the 14th day, 14th year, if you are not ready, I will jump into the fire. Means I will not wait for one more day also. Rama says, okay, don't worry, I will come back to you. And that's why he takes the Pushpak Viman to come back after killing Ravana. Because he cannot walk down so fast. So he flies. So the bottom line of this entire story of King Raghu gives us one important understanding that we have to be truthful to our words. And what does this word truthful means? Where does it actually where does this word fit? This word truthful, is it only for relations? It is only for certain people, or is it for everyone? This word truthful is very important to understand. Can anyone help me in elaborating it? If you can't, I will help you out. Come on, let me see. Yes, Puja Mataji, you have raised your hand, I think by mistake. It's okay. Tell me. Yes, Chandrakant Prabhu, tell me. Praveen is ready with an answer. Come on, Praveen, tell me.
Prabhuji, it should be applied to everyone because
It should be applied to
ideally,
everyone. Okay.
yes,
No.
because of
But I
the
go
and
one step ahead.
it's
Today, in today's world, but the same Krishna told the Pandavas, especially Bhima and Yudhishthira, to tell a lie also. So crooked, right? Krishna is telling Yudhishthira, yes, if I am going to kill Ashwatthama the Hathi, the Bhima is going to kill Ashwatthama the Hathi, the elephant, and you have to say yes, Ashwatthama is killed. Yudhishthira says, no, I am Satyavadi, I cannot tell lies. How can I tell lies? I have to tell the truth. So what does this mean? One here we see one person just for the commitment made to a Brāhmaṇa for 14,000 coins is ready to fight a war with this thing just to stick to his commitment. And here Krishna is telling in the midst of the war, God himself is telling, tell a lie. Now how is this to be understood? Yes, Praveen, now what is your take on this?
Prabhuji, as per my understanding, Lord knows everything, so he wants to, there is some leela behind whatever he do or whatever.
No,
So,
no.
so there is
I
a role
always
of
I
karma
always
as well.
give this example. Let's imagine the rule, let's say in C-Link, the rule is one should not go more than 80 kilometers is the max link allowed, the C-Link to go. Your highway may Pune Express highway you cannot go more than 100. But suppose a thief or a murderer is trying to escape the Pune Express highway at a speed of 110 or 120 kilometers per hour. They're thieves, okay, burglars, robbers, murderers, whatever you call them. Now the police says, no, we have to stick to the rule. The rule is 100 kilometers. The thief are going at a speed of 120, 130 kilometers. Can they ever catch the thief? So what they have to do? They will have to go at that speed of 150 kilometers or at least 130, 140 kilometers to catch up, to cope up with them or to catch them. Sometimes it so happens, the whole one side of the road is totally blocked. And suddenly we see the police van going from the opposite side, the opposite direction. Can you say, hey, cheating, हम लोग यहाँ बैठा है और तुम वहां जा रहे हैं? Arey, what is the purpose of his going over there? To ease out the traffic congestion and so that the traffic can move faster. So there are two cases wherein we see the government authorities breaking the rule made by them, but that breaking of the rule has got a higher purpose, has got a higher understanding. They are doing it for the well-being of the people. Similarly, when Krishna is seeing, yes, what is this entire Mahabharata war for? Dharma Sanstapana. to establish dharma. Dharma means what is right and what is wrong. At times, you may have to take the help of untruthfulness, lies. The entire Mahabharata Yuddha, 3 main episodes. I mean, there are so many. 3 controversial episodes or incidents are there. Number 1, Krishna telling Arjuna to kill Karna when he is without a weapon, which is against the rules and regulations of Kshatriya Dharma. People come out, hoo-ha, they shout. Hey, you have to understand, Supreme Dharma is Arjuna, or God, Krishna telling Arjuna, fire. Arjuna says, how can I fire? He is without a chariot, he is without an arms, how can I fire? He says, don't worry, you shoot. Because yesterday, he did not follow Dharma. When Abhimanyu was alone fighting, how many Atirathas fought with him? Duryodhan, Karna, then 8 big warriors, giant warriors, Atirathas from the Kaurava army fought with one young lad, Abhimanyu. So Krishna is teaching, when he was fighting helplessly, and these people, that time, where did they follow the rule? So for those people who do not follow the rule, for them you don't have to follow. Same applied in case of Duryodhana. Duryodhana, last day of the war, he went and hid himself inside the pond. So Krishna called him. Krishna said, whom do you want to fight? He says, Pandavas ke saath 1-to-1 war. Army to khatam ho gaya. All my brothers are dead. Okay. All Bhishma Pitama, everyone is Dronacharya, everyone is dead. Now what do I do? Okay, 1-to-1 fight. He says, okay, I'll fight with Bhima. Bhima is equal to me. Krishna said, okay, fine. Krishna wanted Bhima to fight. That time, Krishna is telling Bhima to hit him below the thigh, which is technically wrong. The groin area to hit, as per the rules of the mace war, you are not supposed to hit. But he hits. Why? On what basis is it justified? Balram comes to fight. When Balram comes to know that Duryodhana has been killed by cheating, by hitting him in the wrong place, which is not as per the rule, immediately comes. That time Krishna says, one minute, Bhaiya, what you're saying is right. What Bhima has done is wrong. But tell me, when Duryodhan can fight the entire war, the Malla Yuddha, by wearing an extra kavach given by his blind mother, he had made him whole body as vajra, like iron. That's why Krishna cleverly went that time to tell him, please wear some kopin, some garment, lower garment, so that at least, you are now not a small child, you are a big man, so you cannot go fully naked in front of your mother. Mother tells him, you go take your bath and come in front of me naked. I'll make your whole body as vajra because of her power of austerity. So, Duryodhana also says, yes, how can I go before my mother fully naked? So he covers his groin area with a leaf and goes. And when the mother opens her tied out eyes, she sees, oh, the whole body is because the rays emanated from her eyes, his whole body becomes like iron. Nothing is going to work negative for him. But since he had covered his groin area, that remained weak, vulnerable, like any other common man. So this was a part of Lord's Leela. But why did Lord do that? You can do this cheating, but if we do, it is cheating. When you do, it's not cheating. With cheats, you got to cheat. Whereas here, in case of Raghu, so what are the 3 examples? And the third is Ashwathama's killing. There also Krishna is telling Yudhishthir, you tell a lie. And there, after telling the lie, Duryodhana gives up his life. Why? Okay. There are so many ways in which first mistake, what did Dronacharya do? He took the side of Pandavas, Kauravas. instead of Pandavas, he did a big mistake. When you serve the wrong side, even if you're a good person, you have to pay the consequences or the prices of it. I always give this example. Just imagine if you are a CA, a good accountant, a good CA, but you are a CA of the underworld, some big don, and the police catches you. Are they going to leave you? You can say, I have never done any killing, I have never done any wrong activity, I am just looking after the accounts. He says, okay, you're looking after accounts of a bad man, so you're also bad, you also go behind bars. Similarly, if you're working from the side of a bad man, you have to pay a price, and that's what happened with the entire good people, so-called Bhishma Pitama, so Dronacharya. They had also to face, though they had not done any major crime. So this is also a lesson which Mahabharata gives to the common man. However, coming back to the story of King Raghu, Raghu Maharaj was righteous. He was doing it for fulfilling his truth to the commitment towards dharma. We have also got to be truthful to our commitment towards dharma. This is a message which King Raghu gives us. How many of us are truthful in chanting our rounds? How many of us are truthful in remembering the Lord's name? How many of us are really truthful in following the rules and regulations? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. How many of us are really strict to that? How many of you are strict to the rules? No, I will not eat onion garlic. I will eat fully offered food. Or at least I will eat sattvic food. So truthfulness is an ornament for a devotee. For a person who is righteous, who is virtuous, for him, truthfulness is an integral part. ये कोई मेहरबानी नहीं कर रहा. But at the same time, Lord is giving us a word of caution. Yes, you have to be truthful, but at the same time, please remember, certain places you got to tell a lie, and that is allowed as per the Shastra. Whenever there is dharma which is at stake, your life is at stake. A Brahmana or a cow's life is at stake. If someone's marriage, a girl's marriage is at stake, or you are in a romantic mood and you're praising your wife or your girlfriend, telling her, oh, you're most beautiful, you're beautiful than the moon. She may not be. You're telling a lie, but their lie is allowed because the lie is for a good cause, a romantic cause. And finally, last but not the least, in case of business, yes, as every businessman says, मैं कुछ कमाता नहीं हूँ, I'm just giving you for loss and all that. That such places, some minor places, there's a discount. There also you should tell lies in limits, not with crossing all limits. But yes, if your life is in danger, if a Brahmana's life is in danger, if a cow's life is in danger, one should protect that life by, if required, by speaking a lie also. So yeah, what the point we need to understand is, yes, when it comes to dharma, be truthful. Following dharma means if you are truthful, you are following dharma, but not frantically. When for you, dharma should be more superior. When dharma is in the focus, truth, you yourself understand which is the truth you got to follow and which is the truth you can give up also at times, as shown by Krishna at the Mahabharata. Okay, we'll take one more verse.
The king was pleased after giving the charity. As per the customs and out of affection, the king offered obeisance to the Brahmanas with his senses filled with joy. The generous king, who was the hero among men, offered obeisance on the floor to all the Brahmanas. Then the various Brahmanas chanted blessings for him.
Yes, here you got to understand this. One may say, the king may say, I have given so much of wealth to you, now why should I pay obeisances to you? What is the need for me to pay obeisances? मैंने पैसा भी दूं और तुम्हारा पैर भी गिरूं. Why? So here, Acharyas give a very nice understanding. Acharyas say, Brahmanas, by your offering wealth to the Brahmanas is not that important compared to the mercy of the Brahmanas on you by accepting you. The Brahmana is actually doing an obligation on you by accepting your wealth, because when you give your wealth, donate your wealth to him, he is actually accepting the sins along with the wealth. Why we do charity? Charity is meant for cleansing our sins. Charity is an integral part of our Shastra. Wherever you go throughout our country, in any Tirthasthal go, yes, there is a very great mahima of donation. It be 1 rupee or be countless money. Everything has its own relative importance. However, when a Brahmana accepts, since he is accepting the charity, the person, after giving the charity, also has to pay obeisances to him. As the king is paying obeisances over here, after giving them all the wealth, he offered them all the cult kingdom, or rather the whole world. They said, no, no, we don't want this land. Give us cow and wealth and gems. So he gave them 10 lakh cows and some gold, silver, and all that. After accepting that also, they were happy, satisfied. But the king was more satisfied. That is why it's specifically mentioned, the satisfied. Satisfied because they have done an obligation by accepting that charity. And by accepting the charity, for accepting the charity, to express his gratitude, his thankfulness, he is falling down at the feet of those Brahmins. Okay, with this I'd like to close this session. We'll continue next week.